Ladies and gentlemen, for the last 3 consecutive years, right, every single year in August, I make a video dedicated to Red September. Red September is a historical trend, right, or a alleged historical trend that poses that every September or most Septembers in the cryptocurrency market end up being red, which means they end up being bearish. The price ends up going down. You've probably heard about it on crypto Twitter or crypto YouTube. Again, I've posted about this in 2021, I posted about it here in 2022, and I posted about it here in 2023, and now this is my video on Red September in 2024. My conclusions are always very similar. I believe that the whole fear, the narrative about Red September is probably one of the most idiotic things I've seen, right? It is just so stupid. It makes zero sense. But obviously people don't think about it. They just listen to people say words and think it's a thing instead of actually looking at the data for 15 seconds, right? So I'm going to look into Red September, tell you why it's completely foolish. And then obviously I'm going to reinforce the fact that just because I don't think it's an established trend doesn't mean we can't see a Red September. Of course we can see a Red September. I'm just saying there's no trend about Red September that is really real in any sense. And then, regardless of what I think about the Red September trend, I do think that September is a very, very important month. And I think that September is a month of decision on cryptocurrency. So we could see a big month either way. In fact, I expect it to be a big month. I expect it to be either a very big green month or a very big red month. I just don't think the Red September trend has any part in that. So let's look into that today. Guys, before we get into it, the BitTuneX and BingX exchanges, both are very good exchanges. I've handpicked them myself. Don't take my word for it. Look at the history, right? They've never been hacked before. They've got protection funds in case there is a hack to ensure your funds are relatively safe. They are global non-KYC, not affected by exchange regulation. And with my referral link down below, you can get a 15% trading fee discount on either of these exchanges. Just use my referral link and that will take you to the sign up page. And you can see on the sign up page, you can get up to 5,500 USDT in rewards on BitTuneX and 4,000 on BingX, just with my links down below. So guys, go ahead and do that. Let's get into the content. What we have on the screen here is the monthly returns chart on Bitcoin, which measures, of course, the monthly returns for Bitcoin as an asset. Now, if we just take a number out of any of these here, let's just go to this one here in December 2023. It says plus 12%. That means in the month of September, from start to finish, we closed 12% higher than where we opened, right? So this obviously is something that a lot of people would look at and say, oh, look, it's forming trends. We have months that are more green. We have months that are more red. Now, that is true, but it has to be taken with a large, not even a grain of salt, but a freaking tablespoon of salt, okay? Because we have September here. We're heading into September right now. It's August currently. September, historically speaking, has the most amount of red months, okay? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 red months. We have 3 green months. So 8 red, 3 green. So just over 70% of Septembers are red. Now, first and foremost, 70% is not really that big of a number, right? It's not really that indicative of anything really. Obviously, it's the majority, but the problem with this whole idea that red Septembers are red because most Septembers have been red is that we don't really have a large data pool right here. The fact that every new data point is changing that percentage by up to 8 or 7% means that we haven't got really enough of a data pool here. Last September was green. It shows very clearly that Septembers can be green. We saw 2 consecutive green Septembers in 2015 and 2016. And out of all the red Septembers combined, right, the average negative return in September is only 4%, and the average medium negative return in September is only 5%, meaning that September isn't even the most red month from a median percentage perspective. Actually, August is the most red month from a median percentage perspective. So this whole idea of this Red September trend that's like this boogeyman of the crypto markets and the financial markets in general that just happens every single year over and over again, it's just such a lie that it's not even funny. It's just not even based in truth whatsoever. I mean, it's based on the fact that Septembers have about, historically speaking, based on very loose data, a low amount of data points, Septembers, historically speaking, have about a 70% chance of being red. And if they are red, the price goes down about 5 or 4%, right? Which isn't even the most bearish month from a median data perspective. Why aren't we talking about August being red, right? Why aren't we talking about red August? Because historically speaking, I mean, if we didn't have this data point here in 2017 and this data point in 2013, August's median and average percentage gains would be like -20, -15, right? We would have very, very red August. But just because we had these two random data points in 2017 and 2013, which lined up with the cycles, all of a sudden that's not the case anymore. Well, guess what, guys? We're not in a regular cycle here, right? The whole monthly returns chart is, and here's another counter argument to it, is predicated on the idea that Bitcoin moves in a cyclical trend and the same thing happens at the same month of the year every time. We already know that's not happening this time, right? Perhaps this should have been my leading argument. We already know this time that Bitcoin has moved much faster than expected. It's not where it's meant to be, and it's not acting as it usually does. Therefore, any monthly chart historical trend that would exist should be thrown right out the window because we're not where we're meant to be. Therefore, the trends that are meant to be occurring shouldn't occur. So do not dwell on this entire, I'm going to call it FUD. It is FUD. Red September FUD, because it's not real. It's a complete augmentation of reality. It's a pretty much just very, very loose data that people are making to seem like it's a massive big deal so they can get clicks on YouTube. And look, I may have even done that in this title, but at the same time, I am debunking it. That's what I said I'm going to do. That doesn't mean, with all this said, that doesn't mean September can't be red. It certainly can. In fact, I think September is going to be a very, very big month in a crypto market. I'm just going to explain this to you very quickly, and then we'll end up the video, right? Now, we know what Bitcoin is doing here. Bitcoin is in a descending channel formation. It's been in a descending channel for 5 consecutive months. This has been a channel that is filled with just complete ridiculous price action that on some level just does not make much sense unless you zoom out to see the entire channel itself. Even in the last 24 hours, Bitcoin has unfortunately gone downwards, and we'll discuss this more tomorrow because we're going to have a video focused on medium term and short term tomorrow. But Bitcoin unfortunately has gone downwards and lost a level that it gained recently. The center line of this channel, the dashed white line, as well as the bull market support band, as well as these two indicators in green and red, the 50 and 200-day SMAs, were taken for support, and that was great news. But unfortunately, as I mentioned just a couple of videos ago on my YouTube channel, the weekly candle close was a failure. It was unsatisfactory, and I was not too confident that Bitcoin was going to hold out at that location, right? We did not do the things we needed to do on the weekly candle close. Yes, we got above the center line. Yes, we got above bull market support band, but we did not get above the critical thing that no one is talking about. That is the weekly chart RSI descending resistance zone. Seeing as we didn't get above that level, I was not confident that the bullish breakout was real, and I said we shouldn't be buying, right? Got flamed in the comments for saying this. Oh, Wolf, you're so bearish all the time. Well, guess what, guys? It was not the time to buy because it was not an actual breakout. When we're looking for breakouts, right, and we're looking to make macro decisions, we need to be basing our macro decisions on macro price action. What is macro price action? Well, one example of macro price action would be breaking the macro consolidation range, which is the channel formation. But another example of macro price action that could prompt an earlier entry into the market would be breaking an RSI consolidation range. We have a RSI support line here stemming backwards from 2019, actually 2018, okay, going through to 2022, resistance right here in 2022 October, support over here as well. I missed support right here. We have a descending resistance line stemming from March, which is the top of the consolidation range itself, so a very valid time to start the structure, and it forms a triangular formation. Now, this triangular formation comes to a point of apex at the end of September, meaning within the month of September, we will see a breakout either to the upside or to the downside of this formation. Historically speaking, when we have seen downside breaks, it has led to bear markets. It had led to a bear market here. Historically speaking, when we see upside breaks, it has led to very exponential upside moves. For example, let's draw in a couple lines here. Upside break right here. It led to the bull market after the COVID drop. Go ahead and delete that text box right there. Bang, bull market. Upside break to this line right here. It led to the bull market again. Upside break right here. It led to the end of a 7-month consolidation and led to all-time highs, right? So basically what I'm saying to you is this, and this is where I'll wrap up the video and summarize the points I've made, and then tomorrow we'll dive more into that short-term and medium-term analysis. The red September FUD is FUD. It is not an established, look, okay, maybe you could say it is an established trend, but it's certainly not a trend you should be overly stressed about. There's many points of criticism that can be made about it. We're not in the point of the cycle that we're meant to be at. You know, this cycle has been acting very irrationally. Therefore, any trend predicated on the idea of cyclical movements like this red September trend is not valid in this cycle. Red September is not even the most red month from a median percentage perspective. August is, and no one talks about red August. Another reason is It's not an overly established data point. I mean, we've only got 10 data points here, or 11 data points. 3 of them have been green. The last one we saw was green. This is not a trend that we should be trusting with our lives here. But even though the red September trend itself is not overly reliable, what is true is that we can see a red September just like we can see a green September. But what I'm saying is, what is true is that we can see, and we will see most likely, a very big September. So whether it be red or green, I believe it will be a double-digit September, because within the month of September, we will be breaking out of this pattern on the weekly chart RSI that will lead to either a dramatic move to the upside or a dramatic move to the downside. And hence, September, in my opinion, will be the month that basically dictates the future, the next 6 months, let's say, or 3 months at least, of Bitcoin price action. It will dictate whether Bitcoin enters that parabolic phase or whether Bitcoin crashes downwards completely. So regardless of red September, which I think is a stupid trend, a stupid talking point, I still think September will be big, but on its own accord, based on the RSI itself. So huge stuff coming. We'll talk about short-term, medium-term tomorrow. Not very happy with the short-term price action. Failed that weekly candle close a couple of days ago. Can't say I'm overly surprised here. Failed to salvage that support zone that we flipped. We'll discuss that all tomorrow, but September will be big regardless, guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Go ahead and check out, again, our exchanges. We discussed them at the start of the video. 15% trading fee discounts for life available if you sign up with my referral link down below. If you're interested in my second channel, I released a podcast yesterday on mastering religious debate, looking into faith, looking into reason, metaphysics. I've also done podcasts on AI. I've done podcasts on World War I and World War II. You can check those out if you're interested. It's called JS Quinn. We've got our VIP group on Telegram where we trade altcoins 4 times a week with a 78% win rate over the course of 2 years. All transparent, every single win, every single loss you can see in that PDF document. And finally, we have a sale on our educational course called the Become a Trader 10-unit course, teaching you everything you need to know about TA and trading. Guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.